what's going on? Welcome back. This apple tree out here that I'm about to show you, in my opinion, is a perfect symbol, if you will, for longevity. This tree has been pretty much dead for quite a while now. And what I mean by that is I'll show you. The tree's been pretty much hollow, as you can see. So we've had a few people come out, tree experts, you name it, to cut some of these surrounding trees or to trim them, and they've said, oh, you should cut the apple tree, the thing's gonna break, blah blah blah. But what we've done is we've supported it over the years with these poles. This one actually needs to be replaced, but every year it's been producing apples, and it's really coming to life right now. The blossoms are absolutely beautiful. They smell good. I'm actually considering graphing or cutting some of these pieces off if I can to maybe try to regrow this tree, because it does indeed have good genetics. But check that out, you guys. Homegrown fruit is where it's at. That's the type of fruit that you want to be consuming. So I stew these apples, I juice them, I eat them raw. And these are green apples. They're kind of tart, but sweet. I kind of like the tart. But again, you guys, this thing has been like this for years, ever since I can remember. So I pour libations at the base of this tree. I've given this tree offerings for years now. So again, you guys, just because something looks old, that doesn't necessarily mean it's time to pass. So there are yogis, there are people who appear to be quite run down and old and wrinkly, but they've got a lot of vigor left in them and they live a very long amount of time. We know for a fact that there's people who live over 110 years old, folks. In fact, I think one of the longest lived people, at least in the United States, was an African American man who, I believe he lived to be 117, and his diet was completely outside of the box of what is considered healthy by the system standards. They tell you to avoid cholesterol, and they tell you to avoid a lot of things which, if you look a little bit deeper, appear to be quite healthy. But meanwhile, they tell you to consume gluten and eat pastas and breads and vegetable oils and all the other garbage. You've really got to question the mainstream consensus, the status quo. And unfortunately, most people will fight, kick, and scream to defend it. But there's a man, I believe, named Li Qingyun, who lived in China, who lived to be over, I think, 220. And I believe that's all documented in Chinese records. So I'm not saying that's 100% true, but I believe it is. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is, because that would be foolish. All I know, ladies and gentlemen, is that the body is capable, the body and the mind, is capable of things that are unimaginable by the programmed masses. We have the ability to experience profound longevity, profound vigor and health, but they want us in this suboptimal bracket where we're broken, at least partially broken, so that we can stay manageable. So they keep us in what I like to call structured disorganization, or structured disharmony. And what I mean by structured disharmony is there's a particular wavelength that they want to keep us living in, where we're just partially broken enough to stay manageable, yet not broken enough to not function in society, so that you can be taxed, yada yada yada. So I'm not going to get into that in this video. I just wanted to share this pretty tree with you guys. Unfortunately, this video does not do it justice. Let's try to break the mold. Let's try to be like this apple tree and defy what's considered normal. Because normal, if you really put your thinking cap on, isn't actually normal. It's actually abnormal. And the things that are truly normal are considered abnormal by the general consensus or the status quo. So you've really got to flip things around and look at them for what they are. Because you've been sold a one-sided story, and it's a bullshit fucking story. So, make today the day where you separate yourself from the collective mass inertia of the programmed herd, reclaim the victory over your own being, and snap out of your trance. Peace be with you all.